I think in Hong Kong, the trends in vinyl seem to have been going up. It's sort of ups and downs. I don't know if it's getting bigger, but it's not getting smaller. Vinyl music is something I play every day. I think music is something that gives me pleasure. I bought a record player in my first week in Hong Kong in 2008. The first record I bought was a record called Deja Vu by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Sounded fantastic, and I thought, wow, I thought all vinyl sounded that great. Vinyl is kind of a bit of an anchor, by which I mean when you build a vinyl collection, it weighs a lot. It's really, really heavy. Just picking up 10 records is really heavy. So it does make it difficult to move around if you're collecting vinyl. Up here we have Van Morrison. I'm a big Van Morrison fan, so I have all of his albums, including this wonderful album. Also, one of my very favorite albums called Astral Weeks. This came out in 1968, and I actually love this album so much I named my daughter after it. My daughter is called Astral, after this wonderful record. And this is entirely Bob Dylan. So, you know, Bob Dylan's still alive. He's in his 80s now, and still putting out music. A Nobel laureate, Nobel Prize winner, and wonderful artist, it's worth collecting his music. I like listening to Bob Dylan a lot. Big fan of Bob Dylan. And then here we have one shelf of New Zealand music. So I'm a big fan of certain New Zealand labels, and that's my New Zealand collection. And then I have two shelves of blues music, an entire shelf here of Japanese jazz, and I have a world music collection over here, and then I have an entire shelf of music by an artist called Bonnie Prince Billy, who I'm a big fan of as well. So that is my record collection. There's about 4,500 records in here. Because I have a big record collection, it's no good me sitting here by myself playing records all the time. So every second Friday night for several years, I would have a bunch of friends who were into music, and somebody would come to my house and somebody would present 2 albums. We would take turns presenting, and then we would all sit and listen right through to 2 albums.
So there was a digital step in the process, which means the whole thing was not pure analog. At some point it would be converted to digital. And so this was a furore. And I mean, I was part of this.
Everybody got a different turn to present, and everybody loves their music, right? Everybody is very enthusiastic about the music they love the most. So you're never short of people who wanting to present an album they love to other people. So that got quite popular. We did that for quite a few years.
Blair is very super passionate about collecting and listening to music. He spends a lot of time listening. So I think he probably has a lot more broader interests across lots of different types of music, and he listens much more deeply than me, probably. I'm much more of a traditionalist. I like mainstream music, rock and pop. But Blair sort of got me into jazz music. I mean, I used to play the trumpet when I was much younger, and I started to listen to jazz, but I never spent much time. So when I met Blair, then I started really listening to a lot of jazz. And now having the shop, I'm listening to all kinds of music, but I've got a long way to go to catch up to Blair's.
With vinyl records, you're more inclined to sit and pay more attention to the music because it's a more involved manual process of putting the record on the deck. When the side finishes, you have to get up and lift the needle and turn it over. And so I wanted to make myself concentrate more on listening to music. I'm a writer as well. I like writing, and I listen to a lot of music, and I think that if you listen to music, it's a really good thing if you're a writer, because writing involves rhythm, and understanding and hearing the rhythms of language. So if you listen to a lot of music, I think there's quite a strong parallel between the rhythms of music and hearing rhythms in language when you write. So I think it's useful for writing. So that's good. Yeah, I guess, you know, music is kind of like a medicine for everyday life or something like that, yeah.